All right, my friends, today we are driving a 2026 Mazda Miata. It's a Grand Touring, it's the ND3 generation, of course. And today, let's talk about the different trims of Miata and which one you should actually buy. We're joined here by my buddy Fenton from the Zygoon channel, but today we're talking about the ND3 Mazda Miata Grand Touring 2026. And I want to talk about the different trims of Miata. So the Sport is at 30K, Club is at 34, Grand Touring is at 36. And I want to help you decide which one you should actually buy in this video. All of them are powered by the same inline-4 2-liter naturally aspirated engine, making 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. The Club and the Grand Touring are going to give you the DSC control, which is the traction partially off, and also the asymmetric LSD, which is new for the ND3. The Sport always has an open diff. But for $1,800 more than a Club, is the Grand Touring the one to buy? Yes or no? Let's talk about what the actual differences are. So first of all, you have leather trimmed seats, you have auto climate control, frameless auto dimming mirror, rain sensing wipers, auto on-off headlights, adaptive front headlights, which actually swivel left to right as you turn, auto high beam, traffic sign recognition, and extra insulation in the soft top for reduced road noise, especially when you're driving on the highway. Now the Club, compared to the Sport, that's extra $4,000. You get the Bilsteins, which again, still come with the GT, but this is everything that is different from the Sport, but is still included on the GT. So the Bilsteins, the LSD, the DSC track, heated cloth seats, Bose audio, and wireless CarPlay. The Sport gives you smaller 16-inch wheels rather than 17. You get the open diff, and you get the bass audio, which isn't quite as good. Now, the Grand Touring, you do pay a weight penalty of about 40 pounds. Keep that in mind. Not tremendous, but if you are a weight weenie or you want to optimize things for the track, that is a real consideration, right? Although probably not that big of a consideration, to be frank. So we can do this DSC mode, just like that. And you have the same Miata with the beautiful inputs, lightweight chassis, front engine, rear wheel drive. It's actually front midship. Engine is also very low. It gets further back and lower with each generation. But this video is not about why we love the Miata. The question is, which of the three Miatas you should buy? Now, for those who are new to the channel, I have my own ND3 at 2024. That's the first model year of the ND3. And it's a Club, but I optioned for the Brembo BBS Recaro package, which you take that $34,000 MSRP. I guess it was probably a little bit lower than $34K a couple years ago. But then you add $4,500 in terms of this Brembo BBS Recaro package, which gives you the upgraded Brembo brake calipers, same size rotors in the front, as well as the Recaro seats and the BBS wheels. Now, the BBS wheels, of course, I swapped out and I now have aftermarket wheels on my car because I want to have wider wheels for thicker section width rubber, which is going to be helpful on track. And by the way, anyone that wants to buy that set of BBS wheels that only has a couple thousand miles on the original wheels and tires, let me know. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. So I'm not using those. The Recaros are definitely better than these regular base seats. However, they're not amazing. If you're a taller driver, you may actually find yourself having some back pain. So I had to do this whole seat lowering kit from Jast. It's like the whole seat gets lowered by 2.2 inches, which is the most you can do from any of the kits, which is important for me to be able to track mine and pass the broomstick test with the helmet. And then there's also the seat back raising kit, because the actual curvature of the thoracic spine, your mid-spine, where it curves like this right before your cervical, like your neck, and then your back, and then your lumbar, your lower back. That curvature in the seat is really low and quite aggressive. So if you're a taller driver, your thoracic spine doesn't align with their, thoracic curvature in the seat, and therefore you can get mid to upper back pain, like I was getting. So be mindful of that. The seat back raising kit from Jast did help quite a bit. What I'm trying to say, long story short, is that the Recaros, I think, are better than stock. Like, I have no support right now on these. I'm not pushing the car that hard, but on these turns I have no support. I really need to use my left foot on the dead pedal to actually stay in place. But my big concern and my big issue is actually the Brembos, because those Brembos, if you're going to be doing serious track work, they're not going to hold up. If you are a beginner or even an intermediate, you might be totally fine. In fact, if you're a beginner, you definitely will be, and I think most intermediate drivers will be fine as well, which is that you're not going to overwhelm the brakes because you're not driving the car hard enough. But as you keep advancing and as your driver skill improves, you will very easily run into problems there. Even with ducting, even with larger rotors, all of these things, you will still overwhelm the brakes. And then it's like, well, at that point, you might as well just get your own BBK. So let's go back to GT versus the Club, because the GT isn't that big of a price bump. It's $1,800. But you get a few nice things. Now, out of that full list, the things that I really care about is, number one, greater insulation on the soft top. Why? Because when I'm driving on the highway in my car, I feel like I need to have either my musician's earplugs, which don't silence everything, but they just take everything and lower the decibels by about 10 to 12. Nice way to take the edge off, especially on longer drives so you don't get a headache. And don't worry, it's not like muffling and that I can't hear anything. It's still, it's just like reducing the volume of the world by 12 decibels. It's like a flat frequency response. Or I wear my AirPods. And I know some people aren't going to like that in the comments. That's okay. So that is the big thing to me that I would very much prefer, but I also get more easily annoyed by loud cars and loud road noise than maybe the average driving enthusiast. So keep that in mind. The other nice things are auto climate control. I think it's actually pretty nice to just set a temperature and then not have to mess with the fan and the vents. That's how I do it in my CX-50 and most of my other vehicles that I drive, my Mazda Miata and whatever else, even my GRA6 when I had that. I like auto and then just setting the temperature, which is a small thing, not a big deal. In the Club, I just manually set things, and it's a very analog car, and that kind of fits the analog nature. The auto headlights as well. Nice thing to not have to worry about. Most modern cars have that feature, and I do feel it is quite strange that a car that's $34,000 doesn't have that as standard, but again, not a big deal. The main thing for me is the soft top. Auto climate is probably the second thing for me. And then the auto swiveling headlights, I don't really care about. The frameless dimming mirror, I don't really care about. The side view dimming is nice, but it's only driver's side, not the passenger side. It does make it a little bit more pleasant when you're driving at night and you have very bright headlights behind you, especially in a small, low car. Now, with the GT, 3 things to know. Number 1, again, $1,800 more. Number 2, you add 40 pounds, but number 3, you cannot option the Brembo BBS Recaro package. So you have to ask yourself, how much do you want the Recaros? How much do you want the BBS wheels? The BBS wheels are the easiest thing to pick up in the aftermarket if you wanted to. The Recaros can also be had in the aftermarket, although the install will not be as straightforward compared to just swapping wheels. But the Brembos, I think, are not really why you should buy the package, in my opinion, based on my experience. And again, if you guys disagree, then please do help out your fellow Miata owners and hopeful future owners as well with your insights and your comments down below. It's always helpful. So going back to which one should you buy? Now, if I were to do it again, it's actually hard for me to say exactly what I would do, and I'll tell you the pros and cons and why I would or would not choose a certain option. So for the Sport, you save money over the Club and the Grand Touring, of course. You don't have an LSD, so now you need to buy an aftermarket LSD, which I believe like a good OS Geiken is going to be around $2,000 if I recall correctly. Again, leave a comment below if I'm mistaken. The DSC mode is not going to be relevant because I'm not keeping the brakes in stock, right? So care less about that, and swapping out the wheels anyway, so who cares about those 16-inch wheels? And the Bilsteins, I also, which you get in the Club and the Grand Touring, don't really care because I'm going to do coilovers anyways. So those are the arguments for Sport, and I think there are many arguments for it. The downside is going to be that you don't have great audio, which I don't really care about that personally. If I want to listen to music while I'm driving my Miata, since it's so loud anyways with the soft top, might as well just wear my AirPods. Then going up to the Club, I think the nice thing there is that I have the asymmetric LSD, but I probably wouldn't do the Brembo BBS Recaros simply because not using the Brembos, swapping those out for a BBK, not using the BBS wheels, swapping them out for aftermarket wheels, and the Recaros, again, for my body type, they might be great for you, they're not great for me, and I think I would rather spend that money on buckets. And I might actually do buckets in the future. I haven't decided yet, and I want to still try the car in its current form before I add buckets. But maybe I would do Club and just not do the Brembo BBS Recaros. That's an option. And then the GT, it's like, well, it's only $1,800 more, so if I was going to do Club, do I want to just get the extra insulation, get the auto climate, get the auto headlights? Like, those three things are going to slightly improve my quality of life as I'm driving the car. Again, small, marginal, whatever. I think to some people, it'll be worth it, and to others, it would not. Thank you. But in the grand scheme of things, when you're looking at the cost of the Miata versus other vehicles on the market, you get such purity and such a connected driving experience that, you know, still at $36K, it feels like a bargain. It feels like you're getting a lot for the money because now it has the warranty, it's brand new, everything's working fine. If you have any issues, you can take it back and they're gonna fix it. There is no other car at $36K that I would rather prefer to be in or prefer to own compared to this. So, depends on your budget, depends on your priorities. I don't really have a definitive answer for myself, and sorry, I can't necessarily give you an answer as well that's clear-cut because it depends on what you value, your budget, etc. I think there's cases to be made at either of these levels. I talk about how much car you can afford in some of my other videos, and you know, I also talk about my business. I help pre-meds and med students become doctors. That's my main business, and you can find out more about that at my Med School Insiders YouTube channel. Business has been going well, and now my budget for cars has increased. And I'm like, well, I could get more car, and maybe now I hop up into a higher price tier vehicle that I can track. But part of me is like, I don't know. I kind of like my Miata, and I'd like to maybe put more money into the Miata. And if I was, let's say, didn't have a Miata, but I wanted to hop in one now with my increased budget, I'd probably go for a GT, just to have, even though it's 40 pounds more, just to have those extra creature comforts. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I have so much budget for a track car, and if I'm gonna get a Miata and have so much more for mods, then sure, like I'm willing to spend $36K on a Miata. But then, if you asked me 5 years ago, when I didn't have the same budget that I do now for a track car, I'd be like, okay, the Miata is at budget rather than being significantly below budget, therefore maybe I would go with the Sport. You see what I'm saying? So like the budget very much changes which one I would personally go with. But there are pros and cons to each, and there are arguments to be made in either use case. Even for someone like me that is trying to track the car hard, I know it sounds ridiculous to even suggest that I would consider a GT, but it's funny, I was driving the 949 Racing guys, Huevo, which means egg in Spanish, their shop Miata, which is actually phenomenal, by the way. You can see that review coming out soon. And that was a GT RF. I mean, RF is heavier than soft top. Usually people aren't taking their RFs to the track. And because, you know, the hard top is not weight bearing, so you still have to do a roll bar, and then there's no good roll bar solution, so they had to do a custom one. And it was a GT, and it was excellent. It was actually my favorite ND that I've ever driven, right? So, again, just some thoughts. Sorry I can't give you guys a clear-cut answer, but I hope that this ramble and, you know, me sharing my own thought process has been helpful to you when you're deciding which Miata you want to get. I do think the ND3 is the best generation of Miata. I think they fixed so many things, and now its steering is just as good as the NC, and like it is truly a phenomenal vehicle. I just think that stock, if you're a true driving enthusiast, it is going to leave a bit to be desired. You do need to modify it to really get the most out of it. But the question then is, again, which blank canvas are you choosing? The Sport, the Club, the Grand Touring? And I don't think you can go wrong either way. Just make sure you fully understand the pros and cons of each of the trims. And I hope that helps. Shout out to Mazda for loaning me this ND3 Grand Touring out here in Southern California. And my friends, if you want your car reviewed, you know where to find us, jubbalandcars.com. If you fill out the form there, I'll be in touch. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Love me some Miata. Good car.